6% humidity.
Dude, that's probably gorgeous, bro.
That's like prime weather
Dude,
conditions.
I don't even know
right
what
now.
that kind of humidity level's like, bro.
That's Southern Cali for you, baby.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm probably rolling at like 60% humidity, and I'm still like, all right, it's not bad.
What color should we go with today, fellas?
What are my options?
Whatever you want.
Okay, I'm gonna go with green or purple, bro. That's just like my colors.
It's purple now.
I'm feeling the purple.
I'm feeling the purple, bro.
I'm feeling the purple.
At first, I didn't actually know what you're talking about, but then once you said it's purple now, I realized you're talking about the light.
Yeah, dude.
And now that we're getting ourselves situated and settled in, I think it might be about time that we kick off this fucking here shindig, because I know I want to get fucked up.
I'm about to pack.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna get fucking high as fuck today.
All right, let's get fucked up in 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Shedtime podcast. And we are about to get lit up in here because I was very fortunate. Shout out to the homies. They hooked it up and I got my hands on some medicated syrup, y'all. Like, this is 500 milligram THC infused syrup. This stuff, I gave it a little test run yesterday. And it had me wilding.
Quick question. This is like a quick question for somebody that doesn't fully understand like what that even is. Like, obviously, I know what a tincture is. I know what like THC is. Like that. We'll move past that point. But like, what is making it syrup? What does it taste like? How are you doing it? You adding it with a drink? Like,
here it goes. I'm gonna show you. So it's a syrup, as you can see, almost like a cough syrup. This one happens to be blue raz flavored. I am going to mix it because drinking it straight's a little rough.
Yeah.
It is technically considered a tincture. And so I'm going to mix it with some Sprite.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of Sprite, I had to stop and get myself a delicious beverage, and I went and got a cherry Sprite.
That's a thing? Dude, I got to find one of those.
Yeah, I've seen the cranberry Sprite. I don't think I've ever seen cherry Sprite, actually.
Cherry Sprite, bro.
But yeah.
Cheers.
The syrup just adds a little bit of blue raz flavor to it. And after just dumping off what I put in there, let's see what's left in this bottle.
It's almost Shirley Temple-esque.
I could get down with that.
Dude, I am excited about this Pink Panther, though, that I got. I don't know if I told you what the crosses were on this, Sean. This is a cross between Han Solo Burger and good old GMO, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude, I'm working with some citrus cake today. I broke it open last night. And it was fucking super legit. But like, to be fair, like by the time I went to bed last night, I was like pretty fucking wrecked. Like I think I hit like 4 or 5 Dynavaps in like an hour and a half. And like by the time like I was getting off, I was like already starting to fall asleep, like in the call. I was just like, and so dude, full disclosure, boys, I've been pulling some like real late nights lately. I've been like DJing like crazy. I've been like working pretty hard on this like project that I'm involved in, and like doing some like late night meetings and shit, and like still having to get up and like take my dad to some appointments and whatnot. So like I've been just like kind of burning the candle at both ends. So last night, like I just fucking got high as fuck. I just needed to like just pull back, chill, sink in my chair, and just like give myself like a little forced reset. And I felt pretty good this morning, honestly. Like I think I got like 6 hours sleep, and I woke up like feeling pretty good. And I'm excited that you guys have the day off because it's a holiday. Of course, I had my holiday last weekend, so like that's good. But it's just nice, man. It's just nice. So I'm gonna get pretty fucking wrecked right now. Not gonna lie.
Dude. It's Memorial Day for those here in the States. Of course, you guys will be listening to this after the fact. But yeah, dude, it's not very often Sean and I have a Monday off, you know what I mean? And
No.
get to just sit here and fucking vibe out on a Monday, you know?
It's probably my first 3-day weekend in years, and so like I'm beyond grateful to actually be able to enjoy one. And yeah, man, I'm definitely excited. And I guess with that, I mean, cat's out of the bag right now. I no longer work in the cannabis industry, and it's kind of a trip. Like,
I can imagine, like, dude, you've been fucking grinding it out and like doing fucking tons of fucking hard work there. So like, I'm sure that it's probably just a trip to not be going there in the first place, let alone, having 3 days off in a row.
well, that's the thing, right? Is that like I'm now at this point a week out of not being at the dispensary anymore, and I'll tell you what, like it's a trip. I went up there over the weekend, made a quick, dispensary run for myself, and went and saw the homies. And speaking of that dispensary run, got some more of that sherb cake from Nature's because this shit is delicious. Um, but like hearing from them and them telling me how like they had no idea how much work really got done because of me, and now that like I'm not there doing it, how much things are messed up. Like it feels like I don't
Like,
want
I'm
to
sure that
see.
on some level it feels good, right? But then there's another level you're like, man, like, why didn't you just see this when I was here, you fucking morons? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's
Well,
like, it's just
exactly
this
it.
weird thing.
Exactly that. It's kind of one of those where it's like I don't want to see them fail, but at the same time, like I do feel vindicated in the fact that like I told y'all you couldn't do it without me, and now you're screwing it up. Like if you were to look on the menu of that dispensary right now, there are products that are sativas that are clearly labeled indicas, like in the description and everything. There are descriptions that are utterly awful. We've talked on this show a lot about how AI can't do everything, and it's kind of proven because these guys are trying to use AI bot writers to replace the description writing that I did. And they're so terrible and they just repeat themselves over and over again. It's insane. It just kind of goes to show that like AI is not the answer for everything. It's a great tool, but it's not going to replace the human being.
Well, not yet. Not yet, right? Like, I think that, like, not to get like way back in AI, because like we did have a pretty extensive talk on before, but like, I think that it's like everything else, right? People get, thrusted tools upon them, and then it takes them a while to figure it out, right? Like, if somebody just like handed you a tool, and you've never really seen it be used, or like the way that it's been used is like very primitive compared to what you're trying to make it, capable of, it's going to take some time, like we didn't just go from like a fucking Model T to like a Lambo. Like there was a lot of shit that had to happen, a lot of technology, a lot of information that had to be like gathered and like put into it. So I'm pretty confident that, in like 5 years, like AI is going to be a lot more simple to use. And I think that it'll be a lot better than it is right now, just because the human beings will be figuring out how to like use it better. And as well as like the code will probably, enhance and everything else that are surround it. But you're right. Like you can't just like plug and play shit right now and think like, oh yeah, I'll just use AI and do these descriptions. Like, nah, like you need a lot more than that. Especially when dispensaries have so much products. Like, how on earth could all of them be good and accurate and
Well,
like
I mean, with the
properly
fact
done?
that like you're talking about a plant where people are actively growing it, breeding it, enhancing it, changing it every day, like there's so much new data coming out in that field day to day that no AI algorithm is going to be able to adequately data mine everything.
No, like it'll take time for it to get better and everything else, right? It's like it's just one of those things. I totally encourage people to like look into using AI and stuff. And like, I'm not saying that you should do it to like do, negative things or like cheat on tests or write papers or whatever, but like you could use it as a baseline and kind of start from that point. Like, I think that that's what people think. They think like, oh, I can just do it and it'll be fine. But I think that what they need to realize is that that can be their starting point, but like you still need that human being and like that mind to actually like take everything you need to cater it exactly towards what you are actually trying to achieve.
You can kind of think about it like this too, in this way. Like, obviously, I've been listening to like a lot of comedy podcasts, stuff like that. But like, what you could do with AI is like, say you were a comedian and you wanted to use AI to help you maybe like write some jokes or something like that. What you could do is you could have the AI come up with some premises for you, and then you take them upon yourself and then punch them up. You know what I mean? Take that little base fucking joke that you're getting from the AI and then put your own spin, your own flavor on it to, make it a little bit more, you know what I mean? It's one way to go about it, I guess. But yeah, like I definitely
it's like your baseline.
Yeah, I definitely think it's definitely something you could use to like you're saying, Chris, as like a baseline for like whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're writing like a fucking prompt, an essay, a fucking description or something, and you can kind of get that from chat GPT or whatever, and then take it and put your own little extra spin and extra flair on it to make it a little bit more personal instead of it being just a real generic kind of regurgitated.
It should be a tool, like we were saying. Like, I'm all for it. Like, I personally, in my job description in cannabis, I would take existing descriptions and then run it through an AI rewriter, so that way it would change it and maybe simplify it for brevity to make it a little bit more quick and easy to digest. And then I would have to go through it some more and make it a little more clear and human, so it didn't read like a machine wrote it, like it actually read like a person was talking about cannabis. I mean, I think machines are awesome, but at the end of the day, people are what make the world go round. Without people to program, to run, to operate machinery and technology, it doesn't do it on its own. Like, at some point, people have to intervene.
It's like you said, right? When you say it's a tool, it's like, yo, try to dig a ditch with your hands. You can't,
exactly.
Right? You could eventually. It might actually happen. But it's going to take you probably 100 times longer than it would if you had a fucking shovel, because the shovel is the tool in this instance.
And then from
a
car
does not drive itself currently, right? Like, everybody doesn't have access to a car that drives itself. So like, the car is a tool to transport you somewhere faster. You still need a human being to do that, right? There's all these different things that, like, we've already learned about other technologies, like other new things.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to happen for AI. But that's literally for everything that's like kind of that new age thing, right? Like, you didn't just like create a video game system. Like, in the newer video game systems, like, they're not coming from nowhere. It's not like somebody just like, there's no such thing as a video game system. Hey, look, we got a PS5. You guys ever heard of the PS5? No, because this is brand new technology. It's not like that anymore, right? So like, it took time for it to get to the point where you could utilize it as like a tool to like whatever you want to use it for, right? Like, people can use video games for all sorts of different things, but it took time for it to get to that point.
Dude, real quick, just because you brought it up, what are your guys' thoughts on self-driving cars? Are you against it? Are you down for it? Or are you scared? Are you nervous? Like, what are your feelings about it?
This is what I'll say about those cars, right? My number one thing is, like, I don't ever want to use them, right? And it's not for me. It's not a trust thing. I just enjoy driving. Driving's fun for me. But do I see there being a use case for self-driving cars? Hell fucking yeah, dude. Like, if you're driving in cities like, LA or fucking Toronto, or I'm sure Boston, whatever, any sort of bigger place, with all the fucking morons that are like brake checking, there's people that are fucking rubbernecking, like all these different things that cause accidents that then create mad congestion. Like, auto drive cars would be way better for that scenario, just because the auto drive car does not get distracted. It literally drives, right? So like, you can't affect it by you rubbernecking at a fucking car fire. You know what I mean? So like there's certain things like that that I would be pro. And obviously there's a lot of bad drivers out there and distracted drivers. And as like we go further along, like with cell phones, ever since then, like I'm sure the amount of distracted driving accidents have fucking amplified by like 10,000%. So like, yeah, I think that there's some huge pros to it, but like I personally, like I'm chill. I don't need it.
What
I
about you,
want it,
Sean?
personally.
I think that as the notion of self-driving cars exists right now, I think it'll never become mainstream. It can't, and that's the problem. Because not only do you have people like Uncle Chris who genuinely enjoy the act of driving and are going to resist that at all cost, you have a vast majority of those people that Chris wants to use that technology who unfortunately think that they're better drivers than they are, right?
Oh,
So
facts.
that's the thing. Like the people who are the worst drivers typically are completely ignorant of the fact of how bad of a driver they are. And so they're not going to use it either. I think the only way self-driving vehicles work is an all or nothing scenario. When all vehicles are self-driving and they're all operating on the same basic operating system, then they're all going to maneuver in unison because it's a programmed computer system, right? But as long as there are people involved anywhere in the process of the motor vehicle's operation, then you're going to have somebody who's going to fuck up the flow of the computer's algorithm because they're the one not using an auto drive, right? And that's the problem with self-driving technology is either everybody has to use it or it doesn't actually work the way we want it to.
Well, dude, it'd be cool if there was like you had to prove your worth sort of thing. Like, you know how like right now our idea of proving our worth is like you go get your license when you're 16 fucking years old. And that is like literally the last test that you take forever, like for a lot of places. Like you need something. So it's like, yo, James, you've proven your worth as an actual fucking diligent human being and driver that you have the ability to flip back and forth. But Karen, nah, she's been fucking terrible, and she
No,
gets fucking it
this
on
is
all the time.
this is how you do it. All right. I totally see what Sean's saying, and I totally get that. But there is one more way that you could do this to where you can allow both. You just have to have two different roadways for each fucking thing. One for the autonomous vehicles that only autonomous vehicles are on, and then you have another road just for personnel drivers. You know what I mean? And only they can be on it. That's the
I
only
like
way you'd
that.
be able to get around it. Because it'd be like a carpool lane. And it'd be the carpool lanes only the autonomous cars, and the other lanes are the ones for the drivers. You know what I mean?
See,
It'd be a similar sort of thing.
and that makes sense actually, because then as far as guidance is concerned, right? Like we already have those underground electric systems for
That's what I'm
like
saying. All you got to
stoplights.
do is make a grid, and then the cars just follow the grid.
And that's it, exactly. And then they've already got sensors, so they won't rear end each other. They'll know the proper maintenance, speed to be maintaining everywhere. And
Dude, and they'll be able to fucking fly too, bro. It'd
exactly,
be like little bullet trains almost.
which in a sense would make people want to have them more because they are that efficient to get you from point A to point B, which in turn for the people like Chris who want to drive benefits them because there's less people on the roadway. So they get to drive unobstructed. It'd be kind of cool to actually have a one of each vehicle, right? It's like, it's Sunday, I feel like driving. You actually go out in your regular vehicle and just drive, and you're under control. It's like, fuck, dude, it's Monday. I just want to chill and get to work. You just hop in your self-driving car.
Well,
I
I'll
think
tell you what.
that's like probably a good idea for sure. But I'm like, I think that that's like so ideal world. I think that like there's so many ideal world things out there, you know?
Yeah, that brings me to my next fucking topic: flying cars. Because we all thought by now we would have some sort of flying car. You know what I mean? Watching like the Jetsons and shit growing up as kids or whatever. Like you would figure by 2023 to 2024, we would have some sort of flying vehicle.
I'll tell you what, that one I actually fear more than self-driving cars.
It is kind of scary, huh? Having fucking just average people flying shit in the air.
Like it.
At that point, I would rather them be autonomous flying vehicles. You know what I mean? That's
exactly.
where the autonomous vehicles come in, is the flying cars, and we stay, and us drivers stay on the road.
I think that's a thing, right? Like, I know I had a friend years ago, back in my hip hop years. One of the kids I used to do shows with. Shout out to Keithy G and McGee. Keithy G wanted to be a pilot, and he was going to pilot school. So this kid completely sobered up. No drugs at all, no weed, no nothing. Wouldn't even drink alcohol at a show because he wanted to stay 100% impairment free to make sure he passed his pilot's classes and got his license. And now, because of that decision he made, he literally makes a living flying small aircraft, like to and from different, short destinations. And that's cool as shit, because that's something that he wanted to do to like live his life, and was a dream come true for him. But it was like years of work for that kid to go through pilot school. So yeah, the thought of like just average everyday people being able to just like hop in a little vehicle and be like, fly into the sky.
I mean, if it was like all coordinated GPS shit, like, I mean, what do I think about it? Like, I think that like there's potential there, but at the same time, like, I also think like, wow, man, like people fucking suck at driving now, like real fucking bad. Like you see just like horrible drivers every day that you're on the road, So like, how much worse could it be? Well, the sky at least is like way more open, so like I can give people that. There's like less likelihood that some people, but I don't even know if it's actually less like. To me, it's a scary thought, but you're right, James. Like when I was watching Back to the Future as a kid, right? Because like, I remember watching Back to the Future 2 for sure in the movie theaters. I was probably like 10 years old, something like that. And I remember thinking like, yo, like, I don't know if I put like a time frame on it, but I was like, I will see flying cars like in my life. Like when I'm like, 45 years old or whatever, who knows? I'm going to be seeing flying cars, and it's going to be fucking crazy. Like this is awesome. Yeah, we're not there. I did see recently, somebody did make a flying car, but it's like way less cool.
It's like they're more like it's a drone. Yeah,
they're like
there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those. But there's also
which is still cool.
There's a lot of like kind of like slight jetpack sort of things going on too. And have you seen the things that they're doing with the fucking things attached to jet skis in like the water, where they like you attach them to your feet
and they
turn
like
you into like fucking Iron Man? You're like shooting through the air with fucking dude. How intense is that shit, dude?
That would look okay. That looks like fun.
I would be so down, bro.
Yeah,
so down.
I can't see how you get like real bad hurt unless like you like just shot
belly
straight
flop,
at the jet ski. Or like you're like right at the fucking like personal watercraft and you just ice yourself on it.
Well, because that's the thing, right? It's like you're tethered to this like device that's pulling in all that water to help propel you up. Yeah. And so like, yeah, I've seen some people eat shit on those, because like there's a place around here that rents the, for like 20 minutes or whatever at a time. And like I've seen some people totally eat shit, because like if you're not careful and you lean too forward, you're just gonna nosedive straight back into the water. But like once you get your composure and like you have control, dude, that looks like so much fun, because like I've watched these people like doing like flips in the air. And it's like
watching the instructor dudes are like the guys that have been doing it for a minute, just out there fucking doing crazy shit, dude.
Like, I'm definitely into it. I would love to try that shit.
Have you seen those wingsuit guys? The fucking
like just jump off, dudes? Like jump off a fucking cliff and
but they're not just like doing it in like open airspace, bro. They're doing it in like flying through like canyons and in between trees.
Yeah,
and
dude,
like,
I've even seen people doing that on like high rises. Like they'll jump off.
And they go through buildings and shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
like,
these fucking guys are out of their mind, bro.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
they're fucking out of their mind, but it looks so fucking crazy, dude.
I remember watching one of a
It'd be a
dude do
rush.
that, and it
I
must have
wouldn't
been in
be
like
able
the
to do it
Swiss
ever, but
Alps.
No.
Like, can you imagine not only are you dodging like mountainous fucking peaks and shit and little valleys like that, but then you're also going
freezing
through
to
like
death.
little Swiss fucking villages and shit in between, like dodging steeples of churches and all that kind of nonsense. Like, you're not kidding. Those people are out of their mind. And I appreciate that GoPro exists so that these
Yes.
maniacs can strap it to their helmet and I can get a first person view without ever doing it.
That shit. I honestly kind of want to look at one of these videos right now.
Yeah, man. Well, they go crazy, man. There's like, man, there's just people out there that are just so extreme, bro. Like, I'm not saying that they don't care about their lives, but like, they are adrenaline junkies, like legit adrenaline.
Okay, here we go.
junkies.
This is a good one. It's from Red Bull. Red Bull knows what's up.
Yep, this is a good one. Red Bull did it.
Let's just get past this stupid
Yeah,
ad.
there'll be a bunch of money into it, that's for sure.
All right. Let me hit the screen share.
Red Bull, the people who are like, we're gonna make a man skydive
Dude.
from like the outer reaches of space.
Look at this shit.
Yo,
They're formation flying, bro.
through a little like crack crevasse in a mountain.
Let's skip forward a little
Oh,
bit.
they're called wingsuits.
Yeah.
Straight out the helicopter, bro. Like, I'm good. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Look at that. He's like
he's like
10, 15 feet at most.
maybe not even that, dude. No, he's like 2-3 feet above these things, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying like off the actual ground, he's maybe 10
Oh
feet.
yeah. Or I don't know, depending on how tall the trees are. But still,
looking at
dude,
some of those full-grown trees he's threading through, like they're probably 15, 20 foot tall trees, right?
yeah,
So,
that's nutty, dude. Let's see.
These people have balls bigger than human being, like human-sized testicles.
Okay, now you can get a good view of how close these fuckers are.
Yeah, look at their fucking shadow on the ground. Look at that over that ridge. Holy crap!
This is fucking gnarly, dude.
$1 million. Someone pays you $1 million. Would you do it?
No.
No.
I think I would. For $1 million bucks, I would do this.
You'd have to have so much training though, bro. Because that can't be easy. You know what I mean? That's why I'm sure there's only a few people doing it.
Like have like 1,000 like parachute jumps.
Oh yeah, you would have to be a full-fledged like what do you call them? Parachute guy.
Yeah,
I don't know what the term is.
I'm sure, but for $1 million, I think I would do it.
It's like $1 million versus my life. Like I feel like my life to me is worth more than $1 million. So like I'm not confident enough in my abilities to get to a point where I could do that personally. Does that mean that I wouldn't if it was a gun to my head? Yeah, of course. I'll fucking try that before they just shoot me in the head for sure. But that might be kind of what it takes, boys. Like I'm not really okay, so I personally never jumped out of a plane. Have you guys?
No.
Yeah, so like obviously I'm sure that everybody kind of knows someone if they haven't done it themselves. And like a lot of the people that I know that do it, like they're like, oh man, it's the greatest thing in the world. But like, I don't know, that's not for me. You know, like if I want to like live on the edge, I'd rather jump off like an 80-foot fucking cliff. You know what I mean? Like that to me is way more like, okay, I can get behind this. Like, yeah, I could get hurt real bad, but I ain't gonna fucking just splat on the fucking ground, or like my chute gets fucked up, or I have a heart attack in the air because I'm literally fucking falling from the sky. Like that's not really worth it for me, you know? But like, yeah, sure, I'll do some other things that other people might find kind of crazy, right? Like if somebody's deathly afraid of water, they're not going to jump off an 80-foot cliff into water. Like that makes sense. Maybe they would prefer to jump out of a plane because they don't have that same fear. I don't know if I even have necessarily a fear, as opposed to like that just doesn't sound like I need to do it. Like I know what it feels like to fall for multiple seconds. It feels crazy. Um, I know that like I'm not going to die because I've always done it into water. Like I think that the highest thing I've jumped off was like 70 feet. So I haven't actually done anything 80 feet, but and it felt like you were falling for a long ass time. But you're falling into water, dudes. Falling into water.
Oh yeah, I've done
Like
it
that's
too.
way different than like, yo, I'm still 4,000 feet off the ground and my chute just fucking opened up. Like what?
But
That's
that's the
probably
thing,
wild, but
right? Like, because like once your chute opens, you're just gently drifting down at that point. You know what I mean? And like obviously, like if you're jumping at that point, you've been through enough training, you understand how to land properly and safely. So you're gonna land properly and safely because you've been trained to do it. Like at the end of the day, like the scariest part is praying that the fucking chute was packed right so it opens.
yep.
As long as the
Yep.
chute opens, you're gravy.
Well, I guess that's true. I'm just like for me, I just like I'm sure that there's something to gain. I'm just not sure it's worth it.
Like I know
That's
this.
just it.
I worked
I'm just
with
not sure it's worth it.
I worked with a woman who was in the airborne division of the Army. So she's jumped out of a lot of airplanes in her I think it was 10 years that she was in the Army. And I mean, she's like after the first couple jumps, it's really just becomes no big deal. You know what I mean? So like I feel like it's one of those things that it seems super intimidating the first couple times you do it. And I think after that, it's just like, oh yeah, it's like I'm going to the golf course with the boys. No, we're just going up into an airplane. We're going to jump out of it. Like, you know, like I feel like it just becomes tame because you know the routine. You've been trained to do it now. I mean, right? Like first few times I had to use a forklift without training was scary. Now I hop on a forklift every day, multiple times a day, right? It's not scary anymore. I think it's almost the same thing. I mean, if you're diving off of cliffs into water, what's the difference if you have a parachute strapped to your back and you're diving?
I don't know, man. It's a mental thing, maybe for myself. There's just certain things in like that I don't like. I don't discount how much fun, how much adrenaline, how much benefit there is in something, right? It's just that for me, like in my brain, I try to figure out if it's worth the risk to me to get the benefit, right? Like I have a buddy that he's like multiple times been like, yo, dude, like sometime like you're gonna have to like come do like ayahuasca with me, and just fucking experience that experience, right? And I'm like,
Yeah,
I just don't know if like I'm willing to do that because like everything I hear from people, like, dude, I don't know. Like, I've had bad mushroom trips and like they're not great. And he's like, yeah, but you're like guided through these things. It's not like you're just like given this stuff and like you just like go on your own roll. Like, it's not like that. And I mean, he also like said he's like, yo, if like you're scared of like what will happen, like maybe you need to go see a psychiatrist. And I was like, whoa, chill. Like I don't know if I'm like going that extreme here.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm not like
Hold on
scared
there.
that I'm gonna come out a murderer. Like that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking like everybody talks about enlightenment. Like what if that enlightenment for me is a negative one? You know, like that's a fear. Like that's whatever it is. Like
well, but
it's like anything. You know, I've had, like I said, I've had bad shroom trips, and like you go to spots that you're like, yo, like that lasts for fucking life. Like you'll always have that moment, and it's not the greatest feeling. You know what I mean?
that's the point of it all, though, right?
No, I appreciate that, Sean. I know.
Like the way that those experiences change you are inevitably good.
Yeah, no, he made it seem like it was profound. Because like I remember, so he like dealt with like a good amount of loss when he was like 17, 18 years old. And I don't think that he ever really dealt with it. And like he's like 38 now. So like this happened like maybe like 2-3 years ago. So he'd been like living with something like he never really properly dealt with his like whole adult life to that point. And through like an experience that he had when he like went to Brazil and like went to one of those like ayahuasca retreats or whatever and was there for like 5 days through like guided trips and all this different stuff, like it like opened his mind and it like allowed him to kind of deal with it, not obviously get over it, but deal with it and like put it in the right compartment in his brain of like unpacked shit as opposed to like I'll get to it one day shit. And so like I saw a difference in him for sure. Like I noticed a change. So like I don't discount that it could work. And I also don't, you know, discount the idea that it could benefit me. But at the same time, like that's an intimidating thing to go into, knowing that there's an ability for like you to completely change. And yeah, it can be for the better, like for sure, right? But nothing in life is absolute, like even that. So like it's just it would be like a fear of mine that I would like see something or like feel something that like I couldn't shake or like it didn't leave me, um, that could negatively affect my life. Like, and I don't know if that's even possible. Once again, it's like maybe I need to just like do more research. I need to talk to more people, and like maybe then I might be like more open to it. But like I kind of don't mind like being somewhat in control of what's going on, but I don't mind assistance, and that's like what I use cannabis for, right? Like I use cannabis to assist me with like my brain and like the way that I can like move thoughts around or like whatever, you know what I mean?
I
But
think
that's like it almost seems out of my control.
I think that the advice that the first place I would go to for you as a piece of advice is if you've never watched it, watch the documentary The Spirit Molecule. Because it is a fantastic documentary on people using ayahuasca to achieve this state of enlightenment, as your friend is describing it to you. And there's a few other ones out there that I'd have to go back and research and get the names for again, where people have done like even more extensive ayahuasca ceremony trips and stuff like that. It's a very interesting subject. It's something I would love to do myself. I still remember that in the documentary Spirit Molecule, there is a shaman, a Native American shaman, and he's talking about how in other shamanic rituals of hallucinogenic effects, he would always get to a certain point that he described as a picture pattern puzzle door. And he said that what was interesting was that whenever he would go on these spirit vision quests, he would always reach the picture pattern puzzle door and he could never get past it. He could never figure out how to move beyond that point. And then by doing an ayahuasca ceremony for the first time, not only did he reach the picture pattern puzzle door, but he was able to get past it and learn that he was the picture pattern puzzle door and that he was looking at a reflection of himself.
Wow. Yeah, bro, like maybe I'll reach out to my homie and see if he would come on and just like talk about it. I don't think that he would object to it. But like even just like hearing his experience, like again, it might like open my mind up a little bit to it because like it's been a couple of years or maybe even a little bit longer than that. I can't remember actually how long it's been. But yeah, like once again, like I like a good shroom trip, right? Because of the benefits that I get from it. Not because like I just like love the feeling of being fucking wrecked at the moment. It's more like what I take away from it. It's almost like it's like I love hanging out with friends online, right? But if I meet friends for a long weekend and like we hung out in real life, like I would leave that weekend refreshed, recharged, like reset. You know what I mean? Because I would just have like all that positivity and like all of that good feeling over a weekend that like it kind of like amplifies my life going forward. And like without that weekend, like my life might be different. And that's why like shroom trips, because like more often than not I'm with friends and you're just having a good time and there's a lot of positive energy and it brings you to good places, and that's why like I think a lot of people are always overemphasizing the fact that like make sure you're in a good state of mind and you're in the right situation if you're going to like use psychedelics like mushrooms or something, because that really does dictate like the trip you get and the overall time that you have. But after those weekends, like I always have like a fresh take on life. Like I feel like I know I'm more based, you know, all these different things. So like I think that that's why like ayahuasca does sound somewhat intriguing, but like it's also, to me, it sounds like mushrooms on fucking steroids,
My
right?
understanding is that a DMT experience is just that, because at the end of the day, the psilocybin is affecting your body's ability to unlock these endorphins in your brain for you to get to these states. And eating the right amounts of mushrooms, eating the right types of mushrooms, can really put one into really heavy altered
Dude.
states of understanding.
Well, you see, DMT is the key to unlock the door, bro.
Yeah, I'm
To
sure it
what's
probably is,
beyond.
bro.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure it probably is.
I don't know. I'm just saying that because I'm really high.
No, but
But
dude, I just remember that like this dude, like my buddy, his name's Jeff. He
No,
was telling me, he's like, dude,
I've
he's
listened
like
to a lot
literally
of people
going,
talk
and it's
about it.
fucking crazy though. Like when you know somebody personal, right? Like
Yeah.
I've known him for, how long would I have known him for? Over 20 years, like as friends, but I've known him like his whole life, right? Because he grew up in the same town as me. He was like a younger brother of a guy that was a grade ahead of me. And so like I've known him, but we've been friends for over 20 years. And just like
Cheers, boys.
hearing the
Get it.
experience, you know what I mean? Through someone that you've heard millions of fucking words from, you know what I mean? And like you know who they are and like what they're about and like their faults and their everything, right? And then you hear them speak of these like moments, it's crazy. Like, and I don't mean that it's like insane, like you need to go get help. It's just it's mind blowing, maybe is what I should say. It's mind blowing. Because you see that like I trust what like this man says, and like he's saying all this stuff, and like I've never thought of any of these things. Like I couldn't even have imagined like these stories, and like you know what I mean. So yeah, like it's just crazy. Once again, I'm using that word wrong, but you understand where I'm going.
But
Real
I get
quick,
it,
too,
though.
Sean, real quick, dude. You opened that can of Sprite, bro, and poured it, and that shit sounded like a fucking Sprite commercial, son.
It
He
did.
says,
Yeah, you could just hear like all the fucking little bubbles.
all the way to you taking the first sip, bro. I was like, I want a fucking Sprite, bro.
Yo, I got a fucking strawberry frosty in the freezer.
Ooh,
I want to
strawberry
just
frosty.
like, yeah, dude. I'm gonna shout out Wendy's right now. Thank you so much for literally making paper straws that fucking suck so bad that your boy couldn't even fucking drink the goddamn frosty, because the minute I tried to suck on it, all
Right.
it's doing is like letting air in. And then by the time it actually starts to suck anything at all, the whole thing fucking collapses. And I basically drank like a quarter of the fucking, frosty. And the only reason why I was able to do that is because I took the lid off and I was drinking it out of the cup. Like, what the fuck? Especially, dude, strawberry frosties are the truth. I like black. I like chocolate and I like vanilla. Right.
Clip
Yeah,
it.
I'm high, boys. I like chocolate and vanilla frosties, but like strawberry, ooh, like it might be my favorite. And like if I was getting a shake, I'd rather have a vanilla shake than a strawberry or a chocolate. Dude, I don't even know what I'm on, bro.
All right, so now I gotta ask you: are you a fry dipper? Do you dip your fries in your frosty?
Hell, fucking no. That is fucking no.
Dude. You don't do it that, Sean. You go to In-N-Out and you get yourself a strawberry milkshake and you dip your fries in that.
Well, around these parts, we don't get In-N-Outs, but we do get Wendy's, and I know a lot of people who love to dip their fries in their
I do
Frosties.
know people that do that. Yeah, and like those people are fucking savage.
Don't talk
like,
until you try it, bro. It's good.
Oh, dude, I've tried it. I don't like it one bit. It's
I
not
see
my speed.
Yeah, like I see what people enjoy about it, but it's not for me.
Sweet and savory, bro.
Like, I definitely couldn't see doing it with a
here's the
strawberry
thing.
one.
I will say this, full disclosure, I haven't done it in years. But there was a point in time when I was younger and I was down with the French fry dipped in the milkshake sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. Like I'll put maybe things that other people wouldn't. Like I could, James, you wouldn't be able to, but like I could dip French fries in mayonnaise. Like I could. I
Nah.
don't really like doing it. Like if somebody had mayonnaise and they're dipping
I'll
their fries
dip it in
I'd probably
ranch.
dip it.
I'll
You
put
know what
them
I
in
mean?
ranch.
See, I wouldn't do that either. I don't like that.
Dude, certain French fries dipped in ranch are fire,
Oh yeah,
dude.
I'll do ranch. I'll do ketchup. I'll do mustard. I'll do mayonnaise. I'll do
I'll even dip in it on a
sriracha,
barbecue sauce sometimes.
barbecue sauce. I'll do that too.
Yeah. Sweet and sour sauce is like
Sweet and
pretty
sour.
good.
I've
Hell yeah.
never been a big sweet and sour guy just in general, you know.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm not like a huge fan, but like I know that McDonald's. So McDonald's up here, there's sweet and sour sauce. It's not like the red sauce. It's like this honestly, I feel like it's like a mix of like a hybrid of a plum
It's almost
sauce and
orange.
something.
Oh,
Yeah, no, up here it's like yellow,
oh,
like
okay.
beige. That's not very it's like honey. It's like honey color.
Yeah. That's what ours kind of look. But does it have like little like chunks of like red or like orange?
No.
shit
Like
in
your
it?
guys is different. I promise.
Okay.
Like next time I see you, if I can, I'll bring
Dude,
some like
and
Canada McDonald's.
He's gonna
fucking sweet and sour.
You got to make a special trip just for me, Chris, to get some sweet.
Nah,
and
dude.
sour
If I'm on a
sauce.
road trip, like I gotta stop. I'll get a coffee and a McDouble. That's chill. And I'll be like, yo,
Oh,
yeah,
dude, you
just
got to
give
get
me
it with.
fucking
You
five.
got to
fucking
tell him
sweet
add the
sours.
mac sauce on there, bro.
Dude, up here, I don't know, man. Fucking, I swear to God, you go to McDonald's sometimes and like they'll charge you for goddamn everything.
Oh,
They'll be
yeah,
like, oh yeah. It's like, do you want some extra mac sauce for your fries? And like they're literally doing that recently. And I'm like, no, like I didn't even order fries. I ordered a coffee and a pastry. They're like, oh, okay, sorry, it's our bad. And I'm like, how much was that? She's like, oh, it's 50 cents. I'm like, yo, that's fucked up. Like these people.
Oh, I do.
just-
It's worth it, bro.
Yeah,
50
I mean, look, if I'm getting a
if-
fucking McDouble, it's because it's cheap and it's easy, right? If I'm paying an extra 50 cents, like maybe I'm just cheap. I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah, dude.
But like it's not worth
honestly,
it.
bro, the 50 cents is worth it because it makes that McDouble twice as delicious. Trust me.
I'm not a huge Big Mac guy, anyways. I never was.
Oh, it doesn't taste like a Big Mac. It makes just a McDouble even more fire, bro.
Yeah, it just adds the mac sauce to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, all
because
you're
because
losing
it
is
still
the
has
lettuce.
yeah, because it still has the ketchup and the mustard on there. You just have them put the mac sauce too. So the blend of the ketchup and mustard with the mac sauce is where it's at.
Which allegedly we've been lied to, and it's not actually Thousand Island dressing. It's allegedly just mayonnaise, ketchup, and mustard and relish mixed together.
It could be.
And
Um,
if that's the case, then it does make sense because you're just adding a little more ketchup and mustard from your McDouble in there, which just gives it that little extra acidic kick.
yeah, dude. I call him the mini Mac.
Yeah,
See-
well, I've heard people say, I'll get a McDouble, make it like a Mac, and like
No,
they might charge them or some shit. But
Yeah, I don't tell them to do it like that because that means they put the lettuce and shit on there. I just tell them to add the mac sauce.
yeah, I actually don't mind the lettuce at McDonald's. Like, I appreciate that right now, listeners, we're literally critiquing fucking fast food restaurant lettuce.
Hey,
like,
man.
the statement that I'm making right now, I don't mind it. It's way better than like fucking Wendy's or fucking Burger King's fucking lettuce. There's
You know who's the
shit.
lettuce I hate, bro? And I don't know if they put it on all their burgers, but they put it on the one that I get. You guys might not even know about it because you might not have a Carl's Jr. where you're at. But Carl's Jr. makes this burger called the Big Carl, and it's almost like their take on a Big Mac, sort of, because it's got like a similar style sauce on it. It's 2 patties and lettuce. That's all that's on it. There's not like a whole bunch of other shit. But the lettuce they put on it, bro, is like some of like the real big leafy shit. And sometimes you either get the real like just like real green, like not even like crisp lettuce, or you get the end where it's like the fucking stem and it's like super thick and just like
It's all white.
yeah. And it's like if you're gonna put this on here, just don't even put it on here. Because I'm gonna end up pulling it off of here and then take away half the sauce, and then I'm pissed because there's not enough sauce on my burger because it's all on the shitty lettuce.
It's weird, right? Because like I feel like Now this is really weird that we're over here critiquing lettuce, but iceberg lettuce really needs to be shredded. Like that's the thing that I think McDonald's gets right. Is that
Yeah,
like
maybe.
it really needs to be a shredded kind of lettuce. Like there are other types of lettuces out there that you can leave as whole leaf or more intact.
Yeah, like a
but
piece of romaine or some shit.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like you really should be keeping iceberg shredded. Like I think that's why like in when you go to like a sub shop and they shred
There's
the
their
iceberg,
lettuce is always shredded.
you know what I mean? They put it inside the sandwich like that. Like it's always
I will say a
the
nice
choice
shredded
with-
lettuce on a sub is always kind of nice. You know what I mean?
Like I
Dude,
definitely
it's
don't
like
want leaf in a
key.
Because it
Yeah,
kind of helps
key,
keep
bro.
like all like the oils and like sauces kind of like, you know what I mean? It also helps from the bread getting all soggy at first, unless you let it sit and then the bread gets soggy because like all the. But anyway,
well, see now that's an interesting thought, right? Is that placement of those condiments in your sandwich stacking is imperative, right? Because like if you put that lettuce underneath a hot food, like in a burger, for example, it's going to wilt and get gross. So like I've seen places like there's this cheesesteak place, bless their heart. I'm gonna go completely southern on them.
bless their heart.
They'll make cheesesteaks, but they'll put lettuce and tomato on it. And they put the lettuce on the bottom of the bread first. So you're putting hot fucking cheesesteak on top. That's so disgusting because by the time you get to a chance to bite it, that lettuce is just slime.
True.
Like, what are you thinking? Like, I'm not going to judge people who want to put lettuce on a cheesesteak. If that's your thing, go for it. But at least put the lettuce on top of the hot cheesesteak. Be smart about this, people.
Yeah, dude, for real. Like, be smart. Like, don't be dumb. It's crazy. But that's like fucking just like 101, man. Like that's like making hot sandwiches 101. You know, that's why I always like honestly, like I don't like going to certain places and getting a burger and then driving somewhere. If like I know that I'm like gonna get a burger and then like pick it up and drive 20 minutes to like eat it, like lots of times I will ask for no lettuce because I'll end up throwing it out anyways. Because
Yeah.
I don't like that super soggy ass, like just sitting there steaming in the fucking foil wrapper shit.
Nobody has ever in their life been like, you know what I want today? Steamed lettuce.
Yeah, no, they definitely haven't. And like I've never went as far to say, yo, can I get the lettuce on the side?
Yeah, I can't be bothered to that. Fuck
nah.
you. I'm paying you to assemble my burger. I'm not going to ask for it deconstructed.
Yeah,
I
like,
agree.
man, honestly though, like oh man, this used to like just like blow my mind. I wouldn't say it angered me. I would just be like, yo, what are you doing? Like when you'd see people deconstruct a hamburger. I remember there's this girl that I knew at university, and if we went to like McDonald's, like even after like going to the bar and being just fucking drunk as fuck, whatever, she would like get a Big Mac and then she would eat it from the top down as she went. She would like eat the top bun, then she'd like eat the fucking pickles, then she'd fuck, and I'd be like, yo, Rachel, like you're fucking wild. Like I don't know what you're doing, but like that is weird as
What
hell
is
to me.
wrong with her?
Yeah, is
Dude,
she
I
a
don't know.
serial killer?
She was a wonderful girl though. But that was just alarming to me. I was like, yo, you need to chill on that. Like, what are you
That's
That's
That-
not normal.
yeah. That's
doing?
you don't do that.
That's not how you eat any sandwich.
That's against the rules.
You'd think, man, like that is definitely like unique, man. That's like eating a chocolate bar with a fork and knife, you know? Like
Like,
you're
does
pulling
she-
a
does
George
she eat it-
Costanza.
Does she eat a peanut butter and jelly the same way?
I actually don't know.
Or a ham and
I literally
cheese?
have no idea. But all I know is that yeah, like
I want to know
it's
how
great.
she eats her cereal.
I don't know, man. I honestly like it was just the Big Mac was like one of those
I have a
things,
feeling
like,
she's the milk first person.
oh, probably.
Oh my
probably.
god, yeah, that could be.
Like there's some unique people out there doing that. But like, yeah, man, I don't know.
I'm making some pretty strong assumptions there, but I just really wanted
think
to
it's-
say that because I
think
thought it
it's
was
okay, though.
hilarious.
Yeah, like I think it's okay to make that assumption. Yeah, man, it used to blow my mind. I mean, I saw people at university too. Like for some reason, like I guess the guy was just friends with like more people like from different parts of like the country, even the world for that matter. And like there was like a lot of people that were like vegetarian, but they loved Big Macs, and they would go get a Big Mac with like no meat and be like, "What is happening right? Like, why are you even doing
So
this?"
just lettuce, mac sauce, and onions
Yeah,
inside of a
pickles and
bun.
everything. No, instead of patties, like there just be no patties.
Yeah, just inside the bun, like all the
Yeah, oh, yeah,
vegetables and
sorry,
stuff,
sorry.
just and the
Yeah.
mac sauce in the bun.
Yeah, yeah. Like I remember being like out with this chick and that's what she ordered. I'm like, yo, why didn't you get those on the side? Like, what the fuck? I could have got a double Big Mac for free.
Right?
You know what I heard recently that I thought was crazy? Well, not recently, I heard a while back, but good old comedian Bert Kreischer, you know how he eats his fucking cheeseburgers from McDonald's? He takes off one of the buns and he tacos them. And he folds them in half and eats them like that.
So, oh, like he takes like the top half and the top patty, folds like a taco, then he does the same with the bottom half.
No, he just rips the bottom bun off and just tacos the rest of the burger, whatever the burger is.
Oh, sorry, man. He should just get McDoubles, and then he's literally getting 2 for 1 of his like burger tacos.
Well, he probably
And no waste.
he's probably doing that with McDoubles, but he's just doing 2 patties with 1 bun. He's like, well, I don't need all that bread, so I get rid of one of the. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like extreme to me. If you're like willing to just go to McDonald's, it's not like their meat's so good. You're like, oh, but the meat's perfectly fine. There's
Dude,
nothing
you know
negative
what?
for me.
You know where their best meat that they have at McDonald's is the quarter pounder because it's a way thicker patty
Yeah,
and it's like seasoned better.
that and the premium chicken.
I'm not a big chicken sandwich guy really much. I used to be heavy on the chicken sammies, but
I think that like the key thing for you is that so many chicken sandwiches come with mayo, and then if they don't have mayo, they're kind of dry. So maybe if you got like the Asiago ranch from Wendy's,
well,
it's got
usually
like
what
the bacon, the ranch.
what I'm this might weird people out, but I'm a mustard guy on my chicken sandwich. Throw some mustard on it.
I don't think I've ever once tried that, so I'm not going to judge you for it.
I like
I've
some
never tried
barbecue.
it.
Or
definitely
barbecue
chicken sandwiches.
But dude, on a spicy chicken sandwich, you throw some mustard on there, dude.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that.
Maybe a couple pickles on there. I know Chris is out on that, but
Oh,
Yeah, I'm out on the pickles. That's for damn sure.
Speaking of pickles, so I remember that James, you blew my mind talking about dill pickle relish. I didn't know that it was even a thing.
oh yeah.
Oh, really?
So-
You didn't?
No, so
I hate relish, and I even knew that.
I actually bought some finally and tried it for the first time, and
It's amazing, right?
dude, life changing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad. Like, maybe it was just that, like, in my house, my mom was just always like, nope, sweet pickle relish, dill pickles. That's how we rolled, right?
Yeah, they never
So-
like amalgamated into your dill pickle relish.
Yeah, so like we just never had dill pickle relish, so I never even noticed it on the shelf. It was just like, even in my adult life, I just grabbed some sweet pickle relish. Like that's what I've grown up with. But yeah, I grabbed up that dill pickle. Ooh, I put that on a cheeseburger recently.
Yeah, you can put that shit on anything, bro.
Yeah, well, because like
On a hot dog.
I just started. Obviously, I've been heavy on that Guga food. If you guys don't know Guga Foods on YouTube,
Dude, throw some of that in your next tuna fish sandwich that you make, bro.
oh, trust me, I will. But like, I made some smash burgers the way that he does. So I actually got my grill nice and hot and then put my cast iron skillet on the grill and then took my patties and like crushed them on there to get that like super hard sear. Oh, dude, game changer. Game changer.
Dude, I kind of want a burger now. Dude, all this food talk's making me hungry again.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have no idea what I'm gonna eat for dinner, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like something, maybe of like a something super easy, bro. Like some like pasta maybe or something like that. I'm not really feeling like fucking slaving away today. I have a few things like I wanted to get done later on, like before dinner time, and I don't want to spend like an hour making dinner today.
Dude,
It's not my vibe.
you know what I did see at the fucking store this morning when I went to go grab some bevies before the potty? There was these different cookie dough bites with different chocolate bars. So there was like a Snickers cookie dough bite, a Twix cookie dough bite, and they're like candy. And I didn't grab any, but I saw them and I was like, what are these?
I'm thoroughly intrigued.
Yeah. Because it looks like like little bits of cookie dough that you get in like cookie dough ice cream, you know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
little piece like that, but also with like whatever chocolate bar in that cookie dough.
I'm into this. I like that. Like this is a thing because my wife just grabbed up, and I'd already tried them. There's a cookie dough Milky Way bar where it's like a cookie dough
okay.
nougat, and
Ooh.
it's pretty friggin' fantastic. There's also a cookie dough Twix bar, but it pretty much just tastes like a regular old Twix because cookie dough.
Yeah, like
It's already
Twix are
got a
kinda
cookie
like-
thing.
Well, do
So
they even have like they already have like cookie? They already have a cookie fucking Twix.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like they have the cookie already in it. So like
No, but
making a
like
cookie
no,
dough
no. There's like a cookies and cream Twix, I think is what it is, and it has like
yeah, like that white
like the
cream.
cookies and cream kind of, and yeah, it's like they have like the Twix fudge. You guys ever had that?
Twix fudge.
Yeah. So instead of like
I've
the
only had
caramel
the
on the
standard.
top, it's like a chocolate cookie. So it's like instead of like the vanilla cookie that's in a Twix or whatever that
Oh, that's
cookie
right. I
is.
remember that.
Oh, I've had a
There's a
salted
chocolate
caramel.
Twinkie or Twix cookie. There we are. Chocolate cookie, and it had like the chocolate kind of like fudge caramel on the top. Like it might have still had a bit of caramel in it, but it was like definitely like fudge forward caramel-y vibe. It wasn't bad, but honestly, this is like one of those things. It's like I remember when you guys were talking about like one of like some chocolate ice cream. Can't remember what it was. Might have been like chocolate brownie fudge or something like that. And you're like, it's kind of like overdoing the chocolate. That's kind of like the way that I felt that Twix fudge was.
I
Kind of
can
like
see that.
over the top, you know?
I'm
The
not
amount of
really
chocolate you get with caramel and the regular biscuit is like, oh yeah.
I'm not too much of a chocolate guy, you know what I mean? Like I like a nice chocolate muffin from time to time, but that's about it.
Yeah, see, I actually don't even really like chocolate
Cheers.
muffins. That's like one of the things that like bothers me at like so many grocery stores. You go in and you want like the variety pack, and you're like, yo, I want to get like 6 different muffins. Let's get this, you know, maybe even if I get 2 of each kind, and it'll be like blueberry, raisin bran, and double chocolate. And I'm like, literally, this is the fucking worst sample pack I've ever seen. Like blueberry, yes, 5 with blueberry, down with blueberry. Give me the 2 blueberry, but give me something fucking better. You know what I mean? Like, give me like even a chocolate chip is better than a double chocolate. I don't like the double chocolate.
I
You know?
agree.
Banana, give me a banana nut. Give me a
Yep.
banana. Like
Yep.
whatever. It doesn't even have to have nuts. Like, give me something.
Well, every time we go shopping, there was like months and months ago, we came across a muffin pack that had these banana chocolate chunk, but they had like a cinnamon streusel on top. And so like, we have looked every week for months on end in case they ever come back to grab them from the bakery section, and they've just never happened ever again. There's always
Dude,
like
I bet if you
nuts.
ask somebody, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, oh sir, it's they're actually seasonal." It's like, what the fuck kind of season does it need to be for that? You know what I mean?
But that's the thing, right? I agree. What the fuck season does it need to be for that? That's like we discovered that peanut butter coffee cake is a thing, and it's fire.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Like banging. So I highly recommend people who like coffee cake and peanut butter to get down with that, because make that into a muffin. Let's go.
Dude, for real. Honestly, like we've been talking about food for so long, but a lot of these things I can definitely feel. A lot of these things like I like talking about.
Yeah, I would taste all these.
Yes.
Well, also
Yes.
food is like more positive than like if we were talking about like world politics or just like whatever, you know.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that entirely. You know, like
Yeah, dude.
I spend so much of my time these days learning about like cooking and stuff now. Um, it's kind of fun because like obviously I'm learning to just elevate the food I already love to cook, and I'm learning to cook new foods that I wouldn't have otherwise, you know, maybe attempted before. Um, and it's been really cool because like I feel like once you again like this kind of is a callback to earlier. Once you get used to doing something and you develop that skill more and more, right? It becomes something that you're comfortable doing. And so like now I'm just like, okay, well, what meat do I want to fuck with today? All right, how do I want to prepare it? All right, I know how I'm going to cook this then. You know what I mean? And like from learning all these different things now, I feel like I'm at that point where I can just kind of look around my kitchen and be like, okay, I got this, I got that, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I'm making a sausage and gravy burrito, which you guys saw the result of that. That shit came out fire.
Dude, I've been craving breakfast burritos ever since I seen that. And I'm probably gonna try to go get one after this, even though probably no one's gonna be selling any. So I'm probably gonna have to make one.
Yo, I'm telling you, like we did sausage and bacon in that gravy like we always do, and put that over some eggs, rolled that up into the burrito, and then I just grilled that shit on all sides. Oh,
Dude, a breakfast burrito would fucking hit the spot right now.
Dude, breakfast burritos just hit different. Like they like genuinely do. It's like I don't know why they weren't like dude, I don't remember them being a thing when I was a kid. Like I remember having burritos, sure. But I never remember like seeing breakfast burritos for like a long ass time. Like you'd never see like scrambled eggs and like little chunks of sausage and onions and red peppers or some shit in a burrito. Until like I remember when McDonald's kind of brought out the breakfast burrito. That was like the first time I really started seeing breakfast burritos. I don't know when that was. I'm sure in the 90s.
dude, breakfast
But,
empanadas.
Breakfast burrito's been around for a long time, dude.
Like,
yeah, maybe it just wasn't a thing up here.
Oh, I love a good breakfast burrito, but I'll tell you what, like now that I've got a spot I can get breakfast empanadas, that's like game changer. Them shits is so delicious, and they're perfect for driving because they're like all fried and sealed up. So you just sit there and you're just crunching on it, eating your breakfast filled little crunchy shell. Oh man, bananas, so good. Have you ever done breakfast pizza?
No.
Yeah, dude,
I don't
100%.
think I have.
Dude,
I've never done it myself, but like I remember oh sorry, no, scratch that. Pull back. I thought in my brain I was thinking dessert pizza. Do you say breakfast pizza or dessert
yeah,
pizza?
breakfast pizza.
Okay, no, I've never done that. I've had a
Dude.
dessert pizza. My bad. I kind of came in
Banger.
like a bull in a china shop and then had to pull back.
So like the versions that I've had, it's usually like you get your pizza crust, it gets par baked, and then they lay down like a cheddar cheese sauce, and then it'll be like crumbled scrambled eggs, crumbled bacon, maybe some breakfast sausage on there, your mozzarella, finish it off in the oven, and then serve it, slice it, pizza, bang, so banging, dude.
I
Highly
could get behind that. I would try it, but I would kind of go in with like I'm not sure if I'd like it. But I do remember like when I first tried like a Treats of Pizza from like Pizza Hut, I was like, yo, this is gonna be so bad. And then I remember thinking like, actually, you know what? This is actually pretty good. Like the apple one, I don't really like cherry that much, so like I didn't really ever like the cherry one. But if they made like a blueberry one or whatever, so like I could get behind that. And I've never tried to make that at home. I've never tried to
Dude.
like replicate it at home, and I kind of want to now. Like now that we're just literally talking about it right now, because I haven't been to like a Pizza Hut buffet for fucking probably I don't know, man. Like at least 5 years, if not longer. I remember I went with Sammy one of the first times I met Sammy. So like I think that was like 6 years ago. I think that was the last time I went to a Pizza Hut buffet.
I remember seeing a dessert pizza that it was like a giant. Basically, the crust was a giant cookie, like a chocolate chip cookie, and they had cotton candy cheese on it, and like I think it was gummy worms as
Dude,
like the additional topping.
speaking of cotton candy, you know what I seen today at the store?
Oh no!
Starburst cotton candy.
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Dude, do they have the fucking like the black cherry fucking flavored cotton
They have
candy?
the reds, the favorite reds cotton candy. I don't know what flavor that entailed, but I just saw the package. I was like, oh, hey, that's cool.
I
And
think
then
they
just kept
also.
pushing.
I think they also make a Sour Patch Kids cotton candy.
Oh, dude, if I could get like only green Sour Patch Kids, buddy, my teeth, they'll hate me.
Bro, I'm sure
Every
you
part of
I'm
me.
sure you could
But
from like a bulk like store.
I mean,
oh,
here's the thing about that,
dude.
right? Like, it's cotton candy, so it just dissolves in your mouth when when it hits your tongue. So it makes me wonder, like, is that going to be far less uh, abrasive and acidic in your mouth compared to like regular Sour Patch Kids? Because let's face it, I mean, I'm going to abuse my mouth when I eat Sour Patch Kids.
Dude,
I'm going to
that's
just
I
shovel a
know.
bunch of them. You know?
Yeah, you'll go until your teeth start turning. You're like, yo, I need to put the bag down. And then like 10 minutes later, you'll find yourself like going back to it. Dude,
It's
that's
not
like
even
me with
so
wine
much my
gums.
teeth hurting, it's my fucking tongue and like my mouth.
Nah, I don't like hurt my teeth, bro. Like those other things will happen too. But like, I don't know, maybe I just like abused my teeth for fucking so long. Like I've never really like since I was probably 19, I've not regularly went to the dentist because it's expensive as fuck. Um, so like maybe like I'm just like long overdue, but it's happened for like a decade, bro. It's just happened for a decade. There's even some chocolate bars. If I try to eat it, it hurts my teeth. Like if I eat like a Snickers, it's like so sweet to me that it hurts like everything in my mouth. It'll hurt my teeth. Like I'll get like this like weird like feeling in the back of my throat, like there's just like sugar overload piling up in my throat. It's fucking. But they
That
taste good. But
that
like it's
feeling,
not worth it.
I know exactly what you're talking about because it's like it's almost like you just can't clear the phlegm out in your throat from like too much sugary shit. Like I love Mountain Dew, but Mountain Dew notoriously does that to me. So
Yeah, I
I
don't know if I've ever
totally
had that from a beverage.
yeah, Mountain Dew like will leave this like thick coating and film in the back of my throat where I just like it is so sweet that like I feel like I just can't clear this phlegm out of my throat because it's not in that pipe. Oh my god, I'm feeling it just thinking about it.
Dude, I just got real fucking high all of a sudden. It was probably that dab I just took. It just hit me and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, like Sean, I don't know if like I've ever experienced that from like a drink, but I totally know what you mean. It's so weird too, right? Like I find that there are some drinks that do like still make me thirsty, and it's like, yo, I'm gonna drink this drink to then only drink water to feel refreshed.
Yep.
And that always feels like so counterproductive. But like I have found myself doing that at points in my life because I'm addicted to the sweet taste of whatever
Oh,
it is.
dude,
You know what I mean?
that's the story of my life right now. I'm having a problem getting away from the bubbly, sugary beverages. I'll do it for like a day, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, I need something. I need the bubbles. I need the caffeine. But I do feel what you're saying though, Sean, about the like that like kind of coating that happens sometimes. Definitely happens it on a day where I like pounded like 3 or 4 fucking dues back to back, and then I'm like by like the third one, I'm like, I need some water or something.
Yep. Yep. Yo, so in the world of water, have you heard of this Air Up product yet?
No.
So this is a really interesting water bottle system, I guess is the way I'll describe it.
Oh, is it the one that like adds like flavor through smell?
Yes, dude. This is such an interesting technology, and I've seen people whose, reviews and opinions I do trust try it and say it does work as advertised. You look confused, Uncle Chris. Have you not heard of this thing yet?
Nah, dude. I'm also pretty high, like full disclosure. I think I might even fill up another Dynavap. But yeah, hit me with
So
it.
basically, this water bottle has this little ring that you put around the mouthpiece. And if you just want to drink plain regular water, you push it down and you just drink from it. But if you want flavored water, you pull up and it releases scent so that as you're sipping, the scent is coming through your nose and flavoring the water.
Like it's not really, but like it's the sensation of flavored water.
Well, being that
most of your flavor actually comes from your sense of smell.
yeah, the taste buds in your tongue are all rudimentary. The rest of everything is in your nose. So by you tipping your bottle and smelling, say, fresh blueberries, the water you're drinking becomes flavored as blueberry.
I mean, I would try it. I would try that. Why not? Fuck.
I'm
I like water
super
by
intrigued
itself.
by
So
it. Like I'm super intrigued by it because one of my stumbling blocks that I run into is that I too like those sweeter flavors. So like one of the things I try to do to get more water in was I'll take like fruit juice and I'll water it down. So this is flavored like fruit juice, but I've got some flavor. But let's face it, you put that in a water bottle, you forget about it, that's going to go moldy and bad and gross. And then that's such a pain in the ass to clean your water bottle after. So like it's such an interesting idea. And the other thing is that it means that you can change flavors on the fly. Right? Like you could just have a few little rings in your bag. And if you get bored
yeah, it'd be like, oh, I feel like raspberry and lime. Boom.
Yeah, like you could just switch it up and get different flavors. And I also imagine that like if you're into say seltzer, sparkling water, that sort of thing, that you could have plain sparkling water, it should still work the same. And then you get your bubbly sensation, but it tastes like fruit instead of just plain bitter seltzer water. So it's an interesting piece of technology, and I'm very curious to see if it like catches on as more of a thing.
Yeah, I can't remember where I saw it. I think I saw it on like a YouTube ad or something recently. And I was like, huh,
I know they
interesting.
I saw it. Shout out to Google Foods again. They sponsored one of his videos, and so in the video he had his guys testing it while they were doing their food experiment. And they were all pretty shocked that like it worked. It really does taste like the flavor it's supposed to, even though you're just technically drinking clean, plain water. And I'm like, I need to know. I'm so curious how all that's working. Like, I want to do it. Can you make your own? Like someone like you, Uncle Chris, with your e-liquid mixing knowledge, right? And access to flavor concentrates, theoretically, you could make your own.
But
I guess. Like,
are they making them through flavorings or are they making them through scents?
Well, at the end of the day, right, the flavorings are still going to have the scent to them. So if you could figure out how to, apply it in the same way, like you could potentially make your own. And then your possibilities become endless if you know what you're doing. Like,
yeah, like you'd just be limited by as to what flavorings you had. Is it? I mean, that's interesting.
Then you get into terpenes, right? You could be mixing actual terpenes into this thing. Little linalool, so you get some calming water. Some linalool.
I could actually see like all the use cases for that though. You could literally be like, oh, you got to drink this like horrible like tasting fluid like every day for like medical reasons, and like we'll just fucking slap this ring on this bitch, and now you're drinking raspberry kiwi. Like, let's fucking get it,
dude.
You know what I mean? Like, no
Brilliant.
longer do your kids be like, yo, we're going to get you the banana flavored fucking, cold medicine. It's be like, we'll give you whatever the fuck it is. We'll try to make it not taste like anything. And then you just hammer your blueberry lemon on this bitch, and now you're fucking set.
All right. Now we need to figure out how to do this with bunk weed.
Dude, okay, yo, I need to ask you guys a question. No, this is like a fucking real question.
Good segue.
I want to fucking know, okay? I heard somebody speaking about this today, and it literally made my fucking skin crawl, and I need to know the fucking answer. Okay, so give you the backstory. Listening to a Twitter space. People like bring up weed for a moment. These guys trying to sound like they know everything about weed, which they might even know more than me. I don't know. But then you hear this shit. Some homie's like, yo, dude, yeah, bro, you can totally mix all the weed together. He's like, and then you just put in that Reggie and it fucking stretches it. And I'm like, nah, dude, you don't do that. You struggle through the fucking Reggie, that fucking bush weed, whatever it is. That's what you like will use and waste. And then you use the good shit by itself because it's good shit and it tastes good. Like, what is wrong with people? So, like, my question is to you guys: like, at any point in your life, were you like purposely like stretching like good weed with bad weed, or would you just smoke bad weed and then you'd smoke that good? Like, I need to know, like, who fucking mixes swag with legit weed to get rid of the swag? Like, what is fucking ugh?
Me.
What the fuck,
Me,
bro?
100%, dude. So here's the thing, right?
Oh,
In the world of the dispensary, you get samples, and not all of them are fucking good. Honestly, most of them are not good. Most of the companies who can afford to give sample eighths of weed are typically not the best. So, like, straight up and down, just recently, I had 2/8 of some weed that, like, it was straight up meh. And if you put it in a Dynavap, it was gross. So what I was doing was I was rolling joints, and I would mix some weed that actually tastes good with this weed that was meh. And then when I smoked the joint, I could taste the good weed, and I got just as high, if not higher, because I've got the terpenes that are still there and the other cannabinoids that are still there in that other weed, plus everything that's in the good weed, and I can actually enjoy it now. So 100%. Like, I totally get it. Now, here is where I will share your polite or even not so polite indignation.
no, like, those people need to
I
realize what
would-
they're doing.
I would never in my life go buy Reggie to stretch my good weed. That is something to be very clear about. Like, if I have weed that's meh, it's mids, and I'm just trying to get rid of it, I'm going to mix it with good weed. But I would never go out of my way to get mids to stretch my good weed. I'll just stretch my good weed.
Yeah, okay. James, how about you? What's your thoughts, man? I've obviously been pretty hardline. Sean's kind of taking his own approach.
I've never been much of a mixer, bro. I only mix good weed with good weed. You know, like, I might do a little strain cross here and there, but I've never really been, maybe in the earlier days when, I didn't have as much money and, what I had is what I had. And sometimes I would try to do that just to make it last. But nowadays, bro, I've got weed that is still sitting there because I don't like it. That probably won't ever get touched unless, I get fucking hard up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
I've never liked mixing stuff that doesn't taste that great with stuff that does taste good, because I'd rather, you know what I mean? I'd either just do it by itself, or what I might do is like throw like a little keef or like maybe like a little concentrate in with it to like perk it up, but I don't think I'd mix it in with like the other flour. You know what I mean?
yeah, like, dude, I don't like. So the last time I can honestly remember like mixing weed is when you'd have like a group session, or like you'd be thrown in on a joint with like friends like a
Yeah.
long time ago. You know, like when you're like fucking a kid, basically. Like by the time I was like in my mid-20s, like all my friends had jobs or had money, and like we would all basically have our own weed. And like if you're gonna like just sit down and like have a sesh, you just like chop it up and you just fucking pass the bong around. You'd pack from your little fucking spot, whatever. You know, if you were short a bong, like one of your homies would fill it up and pass it to you. Like you would never be like, yo, everybody throw in all this different kinds of weed and whatever. Like, so it's been a long time. It's not a necessity, sure. Like at some point, you're like, you know, you have a 20 sack for the whole weekend and like you want to get high a few times. So you just like
Dude, 20
chip in on
sacks
a
for the whole
joint.
weekend, bro. Damn.
Yeah, dude, going back. This is going back, man. Yeah, I would have been drinking heavy, and I'd just be like, "Yo, I can't afford it. I got a 20 bag. Give me 2 grams. That's it. That's all I had."
So, and where this sort of just kind of shifted, I'm still totally about mixing strains. Like, when it comes to having good weed, like I will still mix good weed. I don't care. Like I'll be like, hey, I got pancakes, and I got
no, yeah,
and I got
I'm
this.
down with that. Like when like I said, I'm down with doing that. Like if like all the homies come through and we all have like some dank and we all have some like different shit. But yeah, let's toss a salad. You know what I mean?
I'm saying I'm all for the salad.
Yeah,
we could totally.
Because dude,
roll
sometimes
like
those
that.
are some of the best highs, bro. Because you get, like Sean was saying earlier, not necessarily in the same aspect. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna be getting, you know, good flavors from both. You know, hopefully, you know, strains dependent, but you're gonna get that, you know, entourage of like the terpenes from those strains, along with the ones that you put in, as well as the other buddy, and then it's just gonna be a fucking party, bro. You know,
it's almost like when
I do it in the volcano all the time.
Like back in the day, we would roll the roach joints, do
Oh,
a second gen
bro.
joint, and it's like you never knew what was gonna be in there. So it was like next thing you know, like you just
Those
get
are
this like
so brutal, bro.
they're not that bad.
Those are rough.
Honestly, we were bad to the point back in the trailer park days. Like we held them out, so we had a box of second gens and a box of third gen roaches. Once you hit that third gen, you couldn't work with them. Like to make a fourth was disgusting. Everything was just black. But like to take those like, you know, freshly spent roaches and then roll them up to make a second gen joint, that wasn't bad. But yeah, if you did it again, that was started to get really really gross, like real gross. Oh my god. Brings you back
Dude,
to the days of scraping resin.
Yeah, dude, I was just gonna say, like, you just made me think about it. It's like, man, I still have this one, buddy. I just don't see him as much anymore. But he used to like save all of his joints. He actually used to smoke like pretty much like 90% of the time he'd smoke a joint. And he used to just like roll like little Percy ones, you know, like he would roll like maybe like a 0.4.
Yep.
And it'd be just like a nice little small tight. He'd like cut the paper in half so he didn't smoke a lot of paper, but they smoked great, like they did. But like he used to fucking save all of the joints. And then he would roll like a roach joint. Like when times were tough, or like, you know, dude, he had like a Ziploc bag that could be like filled, dude. He'd probably take like 15, 20 roaches, roll it into like another joint, and like you'd watch him, bro. And I always like would try to catch him, and like you'd watch him, and he would never put that back into the bag, right? Like he would have the 2 times cycle. He would use a roach joint once. The minute that was a roach joint, that roach was no longer a roach; it was garbage.
Yep.
Right. So I'll at least give him that. But like, I never enjoyed those times, especially like when I would have weed and I'd be like, "Yo, you want to like roll up a joint?" Because he was really good at rolling up joints. Be like, "Oh no, don't worry, I got it. Like I'm gonna be rolling up this, like whatever." And I just always want to be like, "Bro, just fucking roll in with the weed that I got. I'd rather smoke the weed. Well, add to your shit. You can smoke that on your own time, but like at the same time, I'm like not above it. Still get high from a fucking roach joint."
When I was younger, man, I would have been like, and even to this day, sometimes I'd be like, you know what, like let's just throw some of this fresh weed into that joint.
Like, no, see, once again, like that's
yeah.
You're ruining it.
I wouldn't do
You're
it.
ruining it.
I wouldn't do it.
It's like the whole idea of
Listen,
putting like good weed with fucking swag. You're ruining the good weed.
I might be ruining the good weed, but I'm also gonna save that fucking trash that he's about to roll up with me.
This is what I would do personally.
This is the glass half empty, glass half full, right?
See, and this is where I'm different than like a little different than both of you. Chris said he'd still, smoke the joint with the dude or whatever. I'd be the guy to be like, hey, you go ahead and smoke that. I'll roll one up of this, and you do that, and I'll do this. James
just went to the cupboard and grabbed a different glass. I got the right size, motherfucker.
Yeah. Like I'm not. I'll pass, dude. Like respectfully, you know what I mean. I won't be a dick about it. I just be like, nah, you do that one. I'll do this, bro. You're more than welcome to hit this. You know what I mean. But I'm good on that. You know what I mean. Like that's probably that's where I would be. No disrespect. I ain't knocking your hustle, bro, but I got weed, so I'm a smoke.
It's like times are tough, right? Times are tough is one thing, right?
Yeah. But if there's weed there, if there's weed there, we're smoking the weed, bro. Yeah, we'll smoke that after if we're out.
That bag.
Yeah, we're out. If we're out, yeah, I'm okay. I'll smoke that. But if
that would happen. Like when I would have probably fucking 20 sack, a half quarter in my pocket. I'd be like,
no, dude, that's not happening.
No, for real. I'm not kidding.
No, I'm just saying, like, if that was me, that would not have been happening. I would be like, no, bro, we're smoking this. Sorry. No, I get we're smoking this, bro.
It really wasn't the worst thing in the world, honestly, because in a pinch, it was fun.
No, I've done it before, trust me. But I'm at the age now, I'm at the point now where I don't have to do that, so I'm not going to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Makes sense. It's like I wouldn't, if I wanted to get drunk, I'm not just drinking.
And I got to that point pretty quick too. Like even earlier, there was a point where I had a pretty nice bag most of the time, so it was like I didn't really have to do that much.
Well, it's like I get that mentality though, because that's how I feel about concentrate, right? Like I'm not just gonna buy any cheap.
Oh yeah, I don't.
And shatter.
Same.
I'm gonna buy the premium craft good shit. I want the top shelf of it because if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right.
Same. I'm like that with pretty much everything at this point now. I've gone through all the different stages, and I'm at the point now where I've got all like the fancy doodads and whatever to get a amazing experience. So fucking using them, dude. You know what I mean? Between the volcano, the dab rig, and the Dynavap and whatever else I got laying around.
After 20 plus years of experience, you kind of got it figured out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I think it's a great place to wrap it all up. So with all of that, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and send it around the room like we always do to bring it to a close. So you know what it is, Uncle Chris. Kick it off.
Yo, thank you very much. Hopefully everybody enjoys the day that they're having right now when you're listening to it. It's one of those things that I have no idea what day you listen to this. So I'm just going to say the day that you're living. And hopefully it's a great one. I will also, add certain things like check me out on Tuesday nights on KVTV's YouTube channel for Mixing It Up. Just a new liquid mixing show. Check James, Sean, and I on Friday nights on Frames Ankle Vapor YouTube for the Green Room. Of course, you can also go over to patreon.com and check out for the Shedtime podcast because we in there. And any kind of support that we can get from you guys, that's fantastic. Even just listening or sharing, that means a lot to us. That helps us grow, which just opens up more doors for us. So we appreciate any of that kind of stuff. I think that's everything. So I'm just going to say, everybody be safe, have a good week, and live your best life. Frames.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I want to shout out to all the Shedheads for all your guys' continuous support. We really appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are leaving 5-star reviews if you like what you're hearing here over on all those different podcasting platforms. Definitely helps us out, and of course helps new people find out about the Shed. Of course, you can check us out on Friday, like Chris said, over on my YouTube channel for the Green Room. We do build-offs, Shedhead sessions, play some games. It's just good times over there on a Friday night. If you guys want to hang out with us on a live sort of situation, kind of chat back and forth, go check that out. Other than that, we'll be here in the shed doing what we always do, hanging out with the boys, having good conversations, and just getting lit. You know what I mean? So with that, I'm going to send out all those positive vibes, crisp high fives. Don't forget to tell someone you love them, and a little bagger dabble do ya. Sean.
Oh, yeah. My friends, thank you once again for tuning in. It is always a great pleasure to do this each and every week. So, you know what I'm going to tell you. Go ahead, check out shedtimepodcast.com. Spot for everything. And don't let the past get you down. Be cool, don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun. Because it's the Shed Time Podcast, and it's time to roll on up and roll on out.
Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton at Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
Yay.
Yes. All right, Gina. We'll get to the barbecue in just a minute.